the DA just declined to let me read what it's done to my family. Our loved one, Lee Keltner, was murdered. We want to see the truth about what happened through our jury trial and want the killer, Matt Dolloff, held accountable in a way that he can do it again, so he can't do it again. It is clear Matt Dolloff shot my brother, Lee Keltner, between the eyes. Our family believes this is an assassination of our patriotic brother because he loved our country and loved his family. Writing an impact statement for a crime like the one that my family is a victim of is certainly a daunting task. How does one briefly summarize all the devastating effects of the murderer of our brother, son, father, husband, and grandfather? Even more tragic to explain, there are effects of those that one's family. I will do my best to explain that my family has been through, and in doing so, hopefully explain why I believe that Matt Dolloff deserves to be charged with the murder of my brother, Lee Keltner. Emotionally, this crime has torn our family into pieces. This is a difficult statement to write. It is a blunt assessment of the numerous problems that our prosecution dropped the ball in the murder of my brother, Lee Keltner. The district attorney has had this case for 17 months. For 17 months, the case has not been handled appropriately or correctly. There were multiple witnesses in this heinous crime committed, yet the district attorney has failed to speak to any of these witnesses. I alone have had 5 witnesses that were present and saw the entire event take place, from Matt Dolloff reaching for my brother's gun to the moment he pulled the trigger and shot my brother Lee Keltner between the eyes. When these witnesses reached out to me, I directed them to speak with the district attorneys on this case. As of today, the district attorney still have yet to speak to these witnesses. The entire time I had a friend, Jeff, come with me to court. The prosecution would not allow him in the courtroom because Jeff was a witness, yet none of the district attorneys talked to Jeff or questioned him about the days of events. My family received a call telling us my brother was killed. We received multiple videos of the clear guilt of Matthew Dolloff, while sitting there and watching the news lie and twist what truly happened. My brother was called a racist, yet my son is black and very close with his uncle. My brother was called a terrorist when Matthew Dolloff has the tattoo and part of an Antifa, which is a Marxist organization. Lee wasn't a part of a terrorist organization. Matthew Dolloff is. My family has sit back and watched my brother get torn apart in the media as it somehow justified that murdering and taking one's life is acceptable. If the district attorney, the media, and this court didn't like who the person was prior to being murdered, Your Honor, my family asks of you to help us live in peace. It's a state's job to deliver justice, to do good for the family members who have suffered the loss over a heinous act that could have been avoided, not to add our constant pain with the uncertainty process of the courts. No murderer should be granted leniency for their ill will. Help our family collect some peace of mind from heinous act of Matthew Dolloff, shooting my brother between the eyes. We want justice to be served for our own mental sanity, to be able to live in peace, knowing the Hellraiser will stand trial by jury and allow the jury to decide. Lee Keltner's life mattered, and the court deciding it didn't by dropping the charges is taking the law into their own hands and not allowing the justice to do what it's meant for. Lee should be alive right now. He was a productive member of society who knew how to do great things in life. My brother has touched thousands of lives as a hat maker, an ordained minister, and will continue to do in his memory. The negligence of the prosecution office handling this case of my brother is overwhelming. The evidence of the clear assassination of my brother by Matt Dolloff, Pinkerton Security, and 9 News is astronomical. Yet this court is going to allow a murderer to walk free. which leaving our family in shambles again. Dropping this case today, as is our family is reliving the murder all over again. We are watching my brother get shot between the eyes yet again by this court. No justice. Not once did Beth McCann speak with myself or my family. She didn't even have the courtesy to look me in the eyes and tell us they were going to allow the murderer to walk free. The court is responsible for my next life Matthew Dolloff takes, and promise you a man who gets away with murder will surely murder again. The prosecution, Beth McCann, and this court are now responsible for the blood of my brother and the blood of Matthew Dolloff's future victims, because the court and all mentioned here are letting the murderer walk free today. The last thing I would like the court and the prosecution to know that they are officially put on notice that the civil suit is coming regarding the clear negligence of prosecution and the investigation of the case of Lee Keltner. I am no attorney, but I believe that destruction of evidence pending a civil suit is a crime, even for this court. Never forget, Lee's life mattered. Lee's life mattered.
Suzan, how did it feel hearing Dolloff's side? The attorneys have no interest in hearing your statement today.
I'm at a loss for words, honestly. I don't understand how they couldn't give me let me say one thing for my brother. Lee's life mattered. He's dead now. He can't stand up for himself. He can't see his day in court.
I'm not short of words. This was a cold-blooded murder, and 9 News has blood on their hands.
Where do you go from here? You talked about a civil suit?
Yes.
Who will you sue?
Well, Matthew Dolloff, 9 News, City and County in Denver, Pinkerton. They're all responsible.
Why the City and County of Denver?
City and County in Denver because they also now have multiple CSI investigators that have now been fired because of their negligence in this case.